Good afternoon. This is Dr. Kia. It is Tuesday. Let's see. I think it's January the 18th. And I am just coming to you today to talk quickly about the Moorish Empire because a lot of people have never heard of Empress Verdiacee Gosten Turner Bay. So she was the Empress of the Moorish Dynasty, or the Moor Empire, or Moroccan Empire here in the United States of America. She looked like me, meaning she was copper colored, and she had locks, or dreadlocks is what people call them. Well, Empress Verdiacee Gosten Bay took the United States corporation to court, to the highest court of the land, and told them that they had stolen land from the Moors. Now, the Washitaw Moors are now commonly known as blacks, or black people, or black Americans, but this is not the correct name for the people who are classified as black here. Those people, or we people, are actually the aboriginal or indigenous Americans. And we were unfortunately lied to and told that we came from slave ships from Africa. But if you ever checked, you would find out that there are no ships from Africa. You cannot never find a slave ship. You can only find a drawing. And the reason is because they don't exist, because we did not come from slave ships. We were already here. So Empress Verdiacee Gosten Bay sued the United States corporation and told them that they were to pay her people, the Washitaw Moors, the people classified erroneously as black, they were to pay them $85 quadrillion. $85 quadrillion for stealing the land. She proved that they stole the land and confiscated it from her people, the copper-colored people, and she brought the allodial title of the land. Now, a lot of people are not familiar with allodial title because we aren't taught real law. So my son, who is in real estate, actually learned about allodial titles. Most people do not have allodial titles. Those are the correct titles to land when you own it or own property. So what she did was she brought the allodial title to the court and proved that particular land did belong to her people. And she also said that the Louisiana Purchase was not a purchase, but it was a theft. And she proved it. She also proved that the people erroneously classified as blacks, colored, and Negroes, or black Americans, are actually the aboriginal people of this land. She had extensive documentation. My mentor was there with her. Whitney Houston's daughter, that most of you don't know about, was there with her. Whitney Houston's daughter, she has a daughter that was trafficked. And I'll tell you all more about that when I get her daughter's permission, her eldest daughter. You can come in. So she was with her, and she also knows her family. She knew her son. So Empress Verdiacee Gosten Bay took the United States corporation to court and won. And they determined that she was correct. At first, they tried to say she was lying, but she brought all this documentation. And before she left the court, after going through months and months and probably years of rounds of court against the United States corporation, she said, now tell me that I'm telling the truth. And she made them prove that she was telling the truth, that this land belonged to the so-called blacks. Now, the so-called blacks are the Moors. Our empire is expansive. It includes South America, Central America, and North America, and the Caribbean, and Canada. And it goes all the way up through Africa. It was a great, wonderful empire, and it still is. Most people just don't know about it. So this is why President Trump said that that Morocco had acknowledged, he said they acknowledged us as a nation, and they were the first to acknowledge us. And this is why they always pay homage to the Moroccans, because the first Morocco, the real Morocco, is right here in these United States. Am I right? Do you know about this? I'm talking to my eldest son. This is the Moroccan Empire. This is Egypt. This is Africa, also known as Northwest Africa or the North Gate. So you are on the greatest place in the world, the part of the Moroccan Empire. The people who control, own, and are descendants of the Moroccan Empire are those people erroneously classified as black. So if you look up that 1828 Webster's definition of American, it will say the copper-colored peoples found here by Columbus, but now applied to Europeans. So they call us all Americans. But the Americans, the original ones, look like me. But if you look up Walter Plecker, he was over something as, what do you call that? A census bureau. He was the initiator of changing our classification from Moroccan or Moors to, and from our aboriginals and indigenous to coloreds, blacks, Negroes, and so forth. And then, of course, the gentleman who's saying, I'm black and I'm proud, you have to understand, although, who was his name? He was a star. He was a singer. I'm black and I'm proud. It'll come to us. He popularized the term black. But, you know, they're all puppets, so they do what they're told. But black is a legal status. It means boy, blank, bleak, or pale. You have no standing in law, so we don't use that terminology. If you look like me, you're a Moor. Most likely, unless you came here later on, I don't know, but most of us are a part of the Moorish dynasty that's here. Now, some of our European brothers and sisters have married in and mixed in with the blood. So when Verdiacee Gosten Bay took the United States Corporation to court, she included some of the Europeans that are here on the land in the lawsuit because they're also considered Moors, but they are actually their own nation. When the Europeans came here, we had a treaty with them, one of which is called the Treaty of, was it Friendship, I think it's called, or Peace and Friendship, something like that. So that treaty, unfortunately, stopped being in existence. It still exists, but it stopped being honored when the United States Corporation overtook the Moroccan Empire or usurped part of the empire and tricked the Moroccans into thinking they were black people. But according to the lawsuit, Verdiacee Gosten Bay, the Empress of the empire, was awarded $85 quadrillion, and anybody owning their land has to not only receive part of that money, which is so-called, it's not even reparations, it's what's owed to you because the land was stolen. It's not reparations, it's your money from your ancestors. And she said, if you already have land, you can be granted the allodial title and you'll get to keep your land. She said, according to my mentor, it didn't matter what your skin complexion was, she would allow that. Now, she passed soon after she won, but trust me, her daughter and her children still are aware of the findings, and they're still, some of them are still living. We still have an Empress. She's just in hiding. You heard that first from me. So the flag that we see now, the red, white, and blue flag, is not the American flag. That is a banner of trade, or a banner of trade and commerce that the Europeans who came here, the colonies, were afforded and allowed to have, which signified that they were able to conduct business here and do trade. And yes, we acknowledge them as their own nation. We honored them as having a nation. We honored them having their own rules and their own ways and their own things. We allowed them to be on the land and to participate. This is true. You can read up on it. When I say we, I mean our ancestors. So what happened is it was determined that when we return to our republic, which is being restored right now, and the republic is the republic that the Moors, the people who look like me, my ancestors created. The Constitution for the United States of America, our ancestors created. So people who classify as black need to stop saying that they're against the republic being restored or against Donald Trump or other people who are trying to help restore it, because they're restoring your dynasty. You just don't know it. So she said you were able, no, the court ruled that, you know, people would receive $85 quadrillion and able to keep the land in a allodial title. but it was to occur after the republic is restored and once the gold standard is in place, because she said, don't pay me in fiat, don't pay me in paper, pay my people in gold. And that is what we're seeing play out right now. At the same time, farmers took the United States corporation to court. So you hear about the farmers' claims that led to NESARA. You hear about CMKX, who took the United States corporation to court, who are helping with the endeavors to usher in NESARA. But you never hear about Empress Verdiacee Gosten L. Bay, Turner Bay, who was the first initiate who sued the United States corporation and their Federal Reserve banking system and won and said, you're going to pay my people and you're going to make sure everybody on the land in America are treated with dignity and respect, because she knew that the United States corporation were a group of nefarious beings who came to this country from other places and colonized first the indigenous people and then the rest of the people on the planet. So again, the United States is a republic and it's being restored because Empress Verdiacee Gosten L. Turner Bay took the United States corporation to court. So that's already been determined. So-called reparations has already been determined. So these people that's saying they want, what they call this black folk who's fighting for reparations, that church of something, they have all these groups fighting for reparations, but they're not going to get it because they keep saying give black people reparations. Well, don't nobody recognize black people in all of the world because it's not a nation. Hello, black is not a nation. So you can fight, beg, and scream, but it's a legal status and you're not getting anything. Empress Verdiacee Gosten L. Bay already fought that battle for you and she won. So we're all going to be compensated. Calm down. What do they say? Be calm. Calm down. And know that this is a battle has already been won. We all won. All humanity has won. Be encouraged. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt, part of the Moor Dynasty, one of the empresses, just like you are. We're all sovereign. And this is our land and our empire. Now, the cover that you're going to see on this video is the cover of the real flag of this empire, this nation, Morocco. And that is why Donald Trump said they acknowledged us as a nation, because we did. He was not talking about Morocco over in the East or Middle East. He was talking about the Moroccans right here who look like me, who have a dynasty. You just haven't seen the rise of the Moors, because most Moors don't know that they're Moors yet. They don't know that this is our empire. But it doesn't matter. It shall be so. And when it's restored, when our empire is restored, we will acknowledge everybody, because everybody will be sovereign and we will conduct business with people. The Moroccans will have our own identity, our own nation, our own flag, and we will conduct businesses with other people who are considered sovereign. I hope I've cleared it up a little bit, because some people just didn't know. I love you. I have to tend to business. Goodbye. Make this an amazing day. Peace. You want to say anything? Peace. You'll hear more from me later. Mwah. Bye-bye.